Da dúrfá gínta le spáinte híarna cé bhécin an heasa. Ach tá tú matchuk i Israel in enimina san bhéc san spirit neve. Grostar Deirdre sa Christ agus grad Jés County spirit neve live galéir. Díomh maidin bhrá agus fáilte, which tachi go dí bardan tíarna an dónach seo an gcuimile chéile. Agus fáilte raibh daoine tá anseo, cuimhnúir daoine tá slína fíorna a fórbás an tam seo. Thar gríthe freisin le chuile gona crísla agus cúnda dúna gáil an tear isteachna seo mar dhearar an timpistú fása go hála cúpla lá hen. Na daoine fórbás agus na daoine tá faoi brón. Ar dús tugadh mu becí chun cuimhne ónas cimiú sin an tafla na ceúra. Admím de le cútach agus tíise bhráir go feicin méid go tramlas mínos le bríthir le gníomh agus le fallí. Trím a chorthéin, trím a bhór chorthéin. Ar an ábhar sibir is sé róg ar na hanglas ar na névas ar se bhráir guim a hanc na tíir na tí. Gnéana sí le cúta trocra orín go bhaithí sé ar becí dún agus go dróirí sé go na bheithí sirí sin. A hír na gin trocra a Christian trocra a hír na gin trocra Lord is na hard agus a talamh sián lucht a fortse. Wala mí trú, móra mí trú, airí mí trú, tugad mí glórgwich. Gabich buchas látas ochta bhór glóra, a hír na ddírí de bhrachas a dhé art le cúchtaí, a hír na Vicís de Christ, a hír na ddíún dé mach an ahar, tos a hógan peci an dawn dé trócra orín, tos a hógan peci an dawn glechan ar wivan, tos a tadí a dhéis an ahar dé trócra orín. Oras túánas nefas, túánas tíarna, Súhánas roar these the Christ, but initial spirit nave in Lord Jehan Tahar. Amen. Agus Gwimish. A hirna is two or guna agus or stewr grow the grow mar buntlock a sail. A grow ta agan gwich grow shall effecals and von a veen orin an wahi yin of godidiela. Shinir with a hugot three Christ or Jirna. An téime tális na léchtiniú tá sé go mór an céad cean agus an soscéil Blachú Buíchas. The theme of giving thanks is in the reading, especially the first reading of the Gospel today. Naaman, who was a soldier, an officer, but also a leper, he's cured and he speaks of his desire now to worship the God of Israel. And dar lecht Paul tá sé brisún ag an buinte seo. St. Paul is in prison when he writes to Timothy, giving the reasons why his association, relationship with Christ is so important to him. An céadlecht.
Slachtas dar a leabhar na ríthe. Chun Naaman an libor, síos agus thom sé héin, 7 nuaras in Jordan, dar mar a dúirt leis leis. Rinne a cholan glán a ríis mar a bheith cholan lína an. Hannig sé rásin sin a héana agus a chuideachta go dtí leiise agus heas sé os a chóir. Anhéimen isteir se nach bhfuil ein dí ar talamh a hamháin in Israel. Glach brontan is weimse de hervíseach le de hell. Dúirt tar an tíarna a bhfuil mé in na hervísí a deir a leiise, ní ghlacha me tada. Hún náam go bog is go cruair ach ní ghlacha. Dúirt Naaman an sin, mar a ghlachfaí, lig dam úlach rá bhuiile go chréfóig a thuirt lom, mar ní bheith mé go fráil ein ibertí nó a fráil a dóite ní smú, de dhé ar bí a hamháin de híorna. Sin é bríthir dé. Freagra ar an slám, spáin an tíorna a chláánú gan na náisiún. Abrigi oranú ag an tíorna mar rinne sé éachtaí, lena lámh héin, lena lámh yes nífa chur sé slánú ar fáil. Spáin an tíorna a chláánú gan na náisiún. Spán an tíorna a chláánú, spáin sé go na náisiún go córas atá sé. Chuimhne sé cho féirinach agus cho gráhras atá sé go chealach Israel. Spán an tíorna a chláánú go na náisiún. Honnig cléocha I leog an crinne slánú arné. A halamh an dán I leog glíamach a háchas. Spán an tíorna a chláánú go na náisiún. An dara léocht, sleachtas dara litirní próilthaigh Timothéas. Cuimhní Crís dhísa, a tógu ó waribh, duine go chlochdaí, sin a thuiscéil. Is margheallar an soscéil sin a bí meid folann anró, agus fiú bheith ceangail se le sláire mar bheith bithúnach. A ní féidir sláire a chur ar bríthir dé. Mar sin, chuirm suas le chuile hórt ar waithe le muintir tofa dé. Sa gaí is go maithne siad amach an slánú atá le fáil I grís dhísa, agus an glór hírí a héan leis. Is féidir brath ar an ráitis seo. Mar fuair bás in éanacht leis, bé muid beo in éanacht leis ó má. Mar chuimníon muidearan gan tuairt suas, bé muid ag rialú leis ó má. Má héanaan muide, séantha sesin muide. Má bhíon muide mí dhílis héin, fanan sesin dílis. Mar ní féidir leis a héanú. Sin é bríthir dé. Runne feog an bhríthir agus chóna sé inar measc. Éon duine a ghlach leis, thug sé dó cumas dó go ndéantha clán déadíb, Alleluia.
Gron Shearna live. Tan Schlochtas an Soskil nef the rare nef Lucas. An melach go Jerusalem vís dul trí an Gantar atá idir Samaria agus Galilee. The vis sé dolas Jack I Maljawan anig jetnúr laur go gie. Jasidir tamarwai agus lístamach ís washtar bíag trua dún. Nochnig sé iad dúr sé lob imigi agus spánigis of hen gunna sagart. Agus melach gob as emot Lanuid. An sin réáil go gine acu gorá sé leiste, chas sé a ra sé agus ag molé in áda gin. Cá sé héin ag gosa ís agus glach sé buchas leis. Agus ba as Samaria go. An sin dífrís nar lachú jetnúr ach an ínar eile cáhfuil siad. An nar hána cén duine achub a ras le molú a thuirt go dhé ach an cuimíoch seo. Agus dúirt sé leis éirí agus imi is do bealach tá tú déantas clán as do creidirh, Soskil dé. Agus fáilte maidin seo, an dónach seo, spuis taci le céile maidin agus cuimhil le céile mar dúirt mé muintir críslach an ar gríthe go bórmór na daoine fuórbás agus na daoine tá críbriste mar dhealar sin. Tá lína béganí eisteachn san céadlaíocht aniu nuair a tháinig bishop ar Néman. Bhí sé géirí brontanas a thuirt ach ní rá in brontanas castal sin dearn sé ligom gúlach áil 2,000 de créfach a thuirtlam. That is a sort of a line in the first reading today is a little bit unusual. If you spotted it when Naaman was healed of his leprosy, he wanted to give a gift in gratefulness and thanksgiving. There was no need for a gift, so instead he said, I'll take 2 loads of clay with me on my mule, or 2 mules back to Syria, where he lived. And reading up a small bit about it, seemed to be that it was almost a symbolic gesture on his part to bring some soil from the land of Israel to the God that he now said he's going to worship back to his own place, where he could give thanks and worship God there, perhaps build an altar on top of the clay. So that theme of giving thanks, as I said, is reflected in the first reading and the gospel certainly today. That sense of appreciation, gratefulness, when we feel that we've been served well, or a good deed done for us or to us. Came across reading a little bit about Pope Francis the other night, when the day after he was elected, when I'm sure there was a lot on his mind and a lot of things to do. He rang up the news agent in Buenos Aires, where he used to get his daily newspaper. I think he sort of said on the phone call, it was the son of the news agent who answered. This is Cardinal Giorgio, as he was known in Buenos Aires at the time. And they thought he was joking, first of all, before the penny dropped. And seemingly it was just a desire on his part to cancel his publication, or his order for the daily newspaper, and just to thank the news agent as well for being so kind to him over the years. So that sense of acknowledging and being grateful for the small services we receive at times, I think it makes a big difference in terms of bringing some colour to our day. We often say, hear a senior person in the home address the younger member when they receive a gift, what do you say? And there's a pause, and I'm sure the young person is desperately sort of wondering, what am I supposed to say? And eventually there's a little prompt, thank you, whether it's too late at that stage or not, but the trying to maybe raise that awareness of appreciation as well is so vitally important. To be able to acknowledge the good things that happen around us, the amazing things that happen around us, and the effort of others in making that possible. I was thinking of the amazing facilities that are here that came through voluntary effort in the community, especially the pitches, Barna-Furbo, the Gaelic pitches, the soccer facilities that are there at present, and other services as well. Not just the building of the pitches, but also those who continue on to provide service in terms of organisation and making the games and the training possible. It makes such a difference to the lives of so many people who can move around and want to be involved in the sport. In terms of the importance of remembering and not forgetting that effort that was made by people in the past. Our own prayer here around Donach on Afrin, the formal name for it is the Eucharist. It comes from the word Eucharist, which means thanksgiving, coming to acknowledge the goodness of God to us. And oftentimes maybe if things aren't working out our way, to be acknowledged the support of God to us in times of darkness. Tá písam is an dilugan you just fi approach the chat street an a terme hu fosk vi agan leis an COVID agus an dishe géri airi makarish agus an sale Portugal a sale gan a dúrtharish tá si cótáhacht cénach will an virus imi fós tá is agan goléir. But looking at parish and the toll it had possibly on parish and the praying community, as well as many other organisations, businesses and communities, that sense of recovery and trying to get back, even though we're very different now, never be the same again in some ways. But the sense of coming together and maybe looking at how we can be church into the future, what has happened to most of us. We've aged somewhat, and other things have happened to us as well. I'm suggesting that it would be nice to meet Thursday week, depending on how many are here in the house next to the church, the presbytery, or here in the church itself, just to look at where we are and maybe how do we go forward. A lot of the little services we had with servers, pre-sacramental programs, family masses, they went by the way. Maybe when there's an appropriate time, just put them and make them available again. So Cuimhnúir an Taimish in Glachab Buíchas Majin Seo agus buich ag fáil ré chun tús nui dhéanamh freisin. There's an créanis mas de hell. Credim an NGO bháin an tahar le cút an nafagus talamh Ilini Soic agus Doic agus an tíar na bháin sa Christ éonhacht. A lehar sa roi'n Ceylon GOE salas a habas fear and take in was not yarnos at in substance leis an ahar. Trú rid an Ilini ar sannain cinna dénas an ar slána ar Lucio nav. Color le cút an spirit navy run the wide wood agus glach sin á déna Kester and Grishia freshen ar son. Tony sé páis fí punches Peter agus adlach away. Dash ar in thrust leather in the scripture. Who susar nav tána hiú yeshan ahar. Judge na húr fí glórbal who's the húr cherfiogus ar mar. Ní by Gillen in the richt. Cresip sa spirit nave Tierna agus brunt on the baha a ted lucian on nahars and walk. Though Ido agus lower mar in leis an nahars leis an mock as a loud trina fire. Cresip an éach leis nave by I'd be an tame bosh to one comanches the backy. Time is so the hash and marav slip back and tea that I did shocked. Amen. Ahar nav ish nishlan ar nak an yirka 3 Crea star cheerna.
Given Fobble. Go midger son ar bapa prinches an esp with Mihal agus an Créili Rug. Go do Gia Mishnach agus gras the door blesh and publish jura a hirna eishle.
A hirna vi can sagusation.
Vi isa a goni maurach ub shú de vir an imel. Guimish gras do a yi a gon hain if a maurach vi dini in ar gantar hain agus nis for jas baile at aig follinch mariala ver an imel. Agus cúnu agus cawar a horch gopan ur an mujin jesh agus cotam de féine a lorug go cá a hirna eishle.
A hirna vi can sagusation.
Guimid son gatine etá Chin, Somalia, san ospige no dialtranis, no atá fui vrú e cuaramí an tíl. Guimid bishach agus misnach dóib, is go wihisid an cuaram agus an myrgacht atá tilteacu, a hirna eisle.
A hirna vi can sagusation.
Agus mujig smína vinneoch munsio Crísla, agus an tubaste ufas a hitchamahan sin jahína seo caite. Guimid solas na vlahas ar na daine a furbás. Agus bishach na daine a gortaíu, agus fuisiú, dóchas agus misna, gon phobal atá fáca brona críomhriste, a hirna éisle.
A hirna vi can sagusation.
Guimi siacha an dé in ar gríthe in ar jalaí, in ar dír agus ar fud an dam go léir, is go háirithe idir an Rúis agus an Ucráin i láthar na húra, a hirna éisle.
A hirna vi can sagusation.
Feicimid a sascéil an léaniu an táhacht a bhain le bheith buoch a síalísa. Éanamid grásta ó dhé le bheith buoch a scoile hórta tá agan, ar sláinte, ar methe, ar gáulúdar agus grásta dé héin, a hirna éiste.
A hirna vi can sagusation.
Guimís go mé sáith le níthe ag chuilegaine ar fud an dáin, chomh mar le díjan agus teocht an gíomhre seo, a hirna éisle.
A hirna vi can sagusation.
Sir san ar garde is an réalta atá slína férinne, go lunrí an solas búnarú, a hirna éisle.
A hirna vi can. Agus buid sé cuimhnú ar a muintir atá slína férinne paidir rá aniu agus cuimhna can dhéanamh ar John Cahill gnach an awadi a fórbás an tamseo an nora. Agus Patrick agus Kathleen agus Tony Curran der a uachtar Camora Walsh. Agus Kate and Tom Kane, Clune, their daughter, Peggy and husband, Early, Eamon Cumlishgate, a hirna Aishlin.
A hirna cancer agus Aishlin.
Padger Raw freshener son Anam John Fitzpatrick, for boss Kupla Lahin, fi John Nachoni, Barna-Furbo, Spain Sockridge, son John Amorok, Sovna Sherry Torgo, a Hirna Eishle.
Here in the Becan Saxation.
A Hernav Glachlin or Nachanich, Three Christ Archer. Il me kinsham will bottom bjogti shin sa duktlicher say Tambox case Sam Kathleen Winter Kathleen and the Curly's Clune so better will bottom is on the look. Agus cuifi gave ráach lachti an thar le cúchtú de sníber se wemse agus webse. Amen. Here net lachlis na padrikas leis na bruntnas of rálan which le creideh agus le grá. Godug an Eucharist seo go ddíad ó glóram which sin meh hogad trí Christ ar dírna. Sgrán tíarna liv Togi hi o grihan orja. Scamus buichas leis an tíarna dia. Is cartas is cordún go jefn is cuias is tarvach buichas gawlath the hir agus ingachach se hirna ar nefa a le cúchtu hiri trí Christ ar dírna. Lena heachtar an sailwin is sesin onrachas an dina núchan in a fáis grisi ar beci ag a shairi o warif go reiti sé an ballach kun a bahas shiri dún. Agus it dal súsa the Yaslav do Christian Dorschen of Lahas or Lehed Rón. Emishin Morenis na hanglas leis nevgulir, gamich an multig which ara gan stab. Here na GS nefu go fearnach is to top of the nef the galer navy martian improbi jort na brant na shale drucht the spirit kan yen for even our gore corpus full of a card journey is Christ Dolan shen fosh the own hen of revisha hut sus gesta hog she antaron go she buikes lat frish and ron agus ho the yeshkapul he ora glachig is hiki ele esha or se shamo corp a harfor erborsan. And an gwi cena trish an topir hog shen kalish go she buikes lat the rish agus ho the yeshkapul ora glachig is all gi lashti shor se shog kalish me kwich follow full no him de heri. Dort free war son agus son kinna dena kun matches the backy jenny gi esha gwivna ormsa. Agus fógramish rún జీవన an creideh. sinna here na dia cuimhna dún ar bháis agus ar séirí Christ a bhrálamid cuid rán na bathe agus cailais an plánathe. Sgamid buchas le tosc gur fiúleit sin a bheithan ar seasa a láhraigh fónmh cuid siarimid go húlairt. Gon éon tófiile céile le cúcht an spirit néh sinna tá páirtí gorp agus é bhfuil Christ. Tócann cuimhna here na dia dagda se fud an dam neirtí sa cát nach í. I cuidead an ar bop prinsias agus len ar nasbach bíhar. Cuimhnaí freisin ar muintear héna fórbás agus iad ag súl le heiseirí tlóhar cuimhnaí ar siúd letá I míorstína fíorna. Sfáilte rumphuis Jackie sadasta glóra gin tróchra orín ile impomíteart. Onas gmiúisna bheith páirteach sa bathe chéirí can tú bhhailógus a glóra I cuidead an maid na bhfuir máthirte na dé vespal agus na dé bhfuil ar rinta hailse riomhanál tríd a wach Isa Christ. Agus is tríd agus leis agus anna hóta gach an óragus glórgwitse I an tar le cúta por inis the spirit néh trí héal le séir. Amen. Scuimiis chun an ahar faoi mar a bhúnar slán a bhordún a dhéanú. Ar nahar a tharnamh go éfar danam go dagad a bhíad go déanta le habra darab mar déanta ranna ar na rain déad tú nniu agus madú ar bhíad mar bhain mis na bheith chuní féin agus na leicní gaho as séirsin a olcamen. Séirsin a gachal cin pumi jorta hir na túrdún siachan le ar lenanas gmaimis na cawd a rópra sér an becí gcónaí go slán an le búrd. Ag sin ag súl go le hárach le teachta slán a hóra Isa Christ. A hé Isa Christ a dús le daspel fágam siachan a gwyft am dí mo hiachan. Ná fécar ar becnach ag treidir dagdase túr siachantí agus éiti na chéile fui mar as tela téin tas a warnas a rilí in trí héil le séil. Agus nar gríhanniú cuimiis nóla céile go bhfuil siachan atran siachan libh. Seo é únjé seo in té thug an peci an danas méid a siúda fór cuire an siar an ún a chéanna ní fiú méid go tíocht mai arbh sé an fáil agus cléisna. He's a trading gwil twy lor, sacman von efa. Gram ho har gach ein ni, agus minlam ho glachus jachma anam. Targus berdalt a hugum glachmas jachma chris jehu, agus einti me hen go humlan lat, na digum scour lat, cuiha. Amen. just to Bretner and Dilog, Peace and Shinfuya on Guiva and Podrin and Thra, Silver Strand and you at Lard Trishado. Agasta Iha Lahai Kjol, son hospice, the cathedral, Nord Douglas, Aaron Jardine and Jehu, then Visha Hogan by Peace of Wish and Reach Tam Kinsha. Ta Peace of Street from Freshen Free and Torresine took Cruavi Damien Brown, Agasa Antar Chakpaji, Barna-Furbo. Sadly, he missed it by about 50 yards or so. He was avoided, denied the pleasure of having a soft landing, and lucky to have not have more damage done with the sea beating the rocks and damage that was apparent on the boat. Just remind us, it's oftentimes nice to remind ourselves that Christopher Columbus came to Galway at one stage, came because he was looking for traces of signs across the sea of darkness, as it was mentioned or known at the time. So looking like traces for timber logs being floated across. He saw rights that he saw a timber boat come with the bodies of two Native Americans. He wouldn't have known they were Native Americans at the time, strapped to the log. The monument in Galway, on these shores around 1477, Genoese sailor Christopher Colombo found sure signs of land beyond the Atlantic. This was donated, this monument, by the people of Genoa, his birthplace. I was suggesting if Damien Brown had met Christopher Columbus, he would really have assured him that he wouldn't go into the unknown. It was an amazing voyage on his part, especially considering that he lost half of his team early on in the journey. So we wish him well and his family and hope that he behaves himself now in future and stays at home. Agus Squeamish. Rahar ila Cúchtaí go dtuga fuil agus fiol de bhíh páirtún ina héal, mar sé an tíorna é trí héal de saoil. Is gur an tíorna liv. Gomeni ila Cúchtaí sibh ahadas an wach agus an spirit nave. Tá tafan hart go dé sibh slán.